Hello, everyone.
What up?
Welcome back to another episode of Insert Subject Here. I'm Makia.
I'm Anthony.
And today we're just going to wing it on this week's episode of Insert Subject Here. So how are you doing today, Anthony?
I'm here. This was a very long weekend.
It wasn't a long weekend to me.
It was long for me.
Why was it so long?
So Friday we went to the beer, bourbon, and barbecue.
No, it's not we as in him and his little romances.
Don't need no hateration.
I'm just gonna call a spade a spade.
In this dancery, so I went to the beer, bourbon, and barbecue on Friday, and then Saturday it was the almighty Poly City Fest.
I'm gonna back you up a little bit. So he stumbles into the house smelling like a whole drunkard distillery. Okay, I don't even know how he made it home. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Because I wasn't a drunkard distillery.
When you come up the steps standing like a goose. Boom, boom. And then you got to lean against the wall to take your contacts out.
In my defense, I wasn't against the wall. She can't recall because she was asleep. Fast asleep.
Filth and lies. He had a whole conversation with me when he got in the house, so I couldn't have been asleep.
In my defense, I was talking to myself. I didn't know she was listening.
Do you hear what I hear?
A
bunch of lies.
Anyway. And then Saturday was the Poly City Fest. And Makia went to her first Poly City Fest.
I did, and I had a great time.
Yeah, we had an amazing time, and we sat in the Western Dove section. I like being out the way, and we had a really, really good time. We got out of there before the traffic got bad. Poly lost, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was because the DJ lied and said it was 20-6. The actual score was 20-18, and it was a missed field goal.
I'm gonna back this train up again. Again, this was my first Poly City Fest. And yeah, we did sit in the Dove section with some doves that I did not know. But they were all welcoming.
Everybody was friendly. I will say everybody was friendly.
We did not want to take a lot of photo and video, so you'll see some. But of our section, they did what I just learned this weekend is driving the boats.
Oh, yes. It was, the class of, what did they say? The class of 94? Woo. Class 94 Western Doves, y'all.
Oh, y'all got loose.
Jesus
But I just want to say, for this to be my first tailgate experience, they had food trucks with some delicious food.
Yes.
They had portable hookah, which I didn't know was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either.
But they had a person that was renting out hookah. And they had like the tabletop
renting
ones.
out hookah.
Or they had the hookah that you could carry around. So, like, we was dancing on the field, and people just had their hookah sitting on the floor and on the ground.
Sitting on the mud.
On the mud.
It was muddy as I don't know what I was doing.
Now, I'm not a hookah smoker, so I don't really know how this whole thing works.
Why do you keep saying hookah like that?
I don't know.
I don't do the hookah.
But I was just fascinated. But it was a lot of different vendors. The crowd was great. Everybody was having a good time.
It was a great time.
Hugging people that we haven't seen in a long time. People were like, let's take a picture. And I'm like, yeah, let's take a picture. It was a great time. We have city friends, Poly friends. It was just a really good time.
Yeah, so shout out to Brian and Linnea for their portions of what they did for the Poly City Fest. We had an amazing time. Can't wait till next year. Hopefully bigger and better. Next year we taking a tent. So if y'all want to stop through our area, I'm going to be on the grill and everything. Shorty, holla at me.
Okay. So speaking of kids, I know we didn't really talk about kids.
Poly City High School kids. I like the segue.
Did you all hear about a Kentucky school aptly named, and this is the real name of the school, Hazard High School. Hazardous situations went about during their homecoming week. They had, you know how you have the little spirit week and you dress up and stuff? Well, Hazard High School had a man pageant. where some of the male students and athletes stripped down to lingerie, and they gave lap dances to faculty members. Some of the young ladies dressed up as hooters, workers, and they even carried like what looked like pitchers of beer.
To the teachers, folks.
To the teachers. And the principal, and I'm trying to get to his name.
Was that Happy?
Happy Mobilini. That's what they call him.
Boy name is Happy.
And we're going to show a picture of Happy, because Happy got real happy at high school's homecoming. So there was paddling. It was a whole show. Now, I'm going to take off my parent hat.
Oh, put it on the side.
Now, let me tell you something. If I was at Harris High School, I'd be like, take it off. Take it. Like, that sounds like a lot of fun. I ain't even going to hold you.
Listen.
That sounds like fun.
The views and opinions shared by my co-hosts are not shared by me and insert subject here. It is all Makia at this juncture. Back to you, Tom.
Now that we got, because you know how, over the top schools try to go.
Yeah.
So that sounded like that was a funky good time. Please pardon this interruption. Now the parent in me was shocked and appalled. If my kid came home,
bruh,
and they was like, look at these pictures, because everybody take pictures. Look at these pictures. I would be like, and the faculty, they all laughing and smiling.
I guess the biggest question is, first, how did they make it through the whole day dressed inappropriately?
I don't think they dressed inappropriately. I think when they had this whole event in the gym, the man pageant, that's when the clothes started coming off.
So this was a sanctioned event?
Yes. Now,
that's ridiculous.
Now, I don't know if everybody knew there was going to be some striptease actions going on.
Listen, I listened. So my kid was watching the video of one of the teachers being interviewed, or the faculty being interviewed, and she was like, this is how we get down. Like I didn't see anything inappropriate.
Oh, yeah, she did. No, that was the parent.
You didn't see the teachers pushing the kids off of them. I shouldn't be in a position to have to push the child off of me.
No, at that time, wrap this up. Pick your pants back up, boy. That's what I like. We need to do better.
Yes, indeed. I agree.
Now, the man pageant idea, I think that was a pretty dope idea, but the striptation of it all, like...
So explain. So indulge me. So what was a good idea about the man pageant?
So, if you would have did played around with it a little bit more, such as you had little gentlemen dressed up like the bachelors giving out roses. Like, how in a beauty pageant, the girls are like in their gowns and some of them come out and like wave.
So you weren't saying you were cool with the guys dressing up like girls giving out lap dances.
No.
You like the idea of a pageant style.
Yeah, I could get behind that. But, keep it that level and above. And you know how like you have the whole the performance piece where some people get up and they sing and like
the talent
portion. Like you really played it up. That would have been cool. Skip the bathing suit portion. Like, don't do the bathing. But you know how they might have the little sports and you do like the little JonBenet?
Oh, JonBenet. That's a name.
To sit and have something like that, I could get behind that. But that just went too far.
Yeah, I agree. But it didn't go as far as, why did you put the hat back on? Because this is serious business.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. It went far, but it went far. It did. Because when you think about it, that can get into the whole molestation piece of this situation.
Yeah, especially when we in the age of student-teacher relationships and all that stuff. You walk a real fine line, ladies and gentlemen that are in teaching professions, because one slip, you end up like, wait, but I didn't even say it. I didn't touch him. I didn't even do it.
The irony of one slip is hilarious. Moving on to more inappropriate Halloween fun. A student at a Pittsburgh High School, y'all gotta do better, wears a KKK robe for costume day, and no one said anything to him for at least 4 class periods.
Now, can I ask a question?
Of course.
Was there black peoples at this school?
Yes. And in the picture you guys are seeing, they blurred out the faces because they're minors. But these are little black boys posing with him. Go ahead, question. That's a good question, probably.
Do they still teach slaveries?
No, of course they don't teach black history. So I blame the parents. That's why I said put your parent hat back on. Because I want to know what you're talking to your kids about. These kids are different.
Yeah.
Like we used to, it's weird, man. Like I guess we knew, or we were closer to an age where we understood what was going on with the racial disparities in the world. I think the kids today even know, because the protest for George Floyd and the protest for all the stuff that's happening is apparent. Like you can Google it. It's all over TikTok. It's all over Instagram. But what would make you think it was cool to pose with this kid? I feel like if it was in our day when we were in high school, this story goes a lot different. It's we got beat up for beating him up, or we got suspended for beating him up, or we got locked up for beating him up for doing this.
Yeah. That's when some stripping needed to be happening. Because as some kids, y'all need to pull out all that stuff off. High school.
Listen, that was I see what you did there. Go ahead, cook, Shawty.
I'm just shocked and appalled that people would be like,
they right next to, and it's like I blame the parents still. Like I can't not blame the parents, because parents were outraged. There were parents who apparently saw the pictures of their kids probably posing with the young man.
Yes.
And they were outraged that he got to do this for 4 periods. And it didn't say, like the story doesn't say he was suspended or expelled, or they just said they confiscated the costume after the 4th period.
I would like to know what teacher or faculty member was like, bring that tailhead boy. Like, who was
a good question.
Who was the good Pied Piper? That was probably a bad. Who was the nobleman that said,
I'm gonna go with the cafeteria lady.
And that's probably exactly
cafeteria lady's going.
Or it probably was the gym teacher. He was like, after you change into the gym uniform, just give it here.
Kevin, take that off. Put your gym shorts on. Bring me that,
right?
Please, I'll take it.
Right.
It's something with these kids, man.
Parents out here, or even people that have or know children.
Okay, talk to them.
If you see a picture of your little baby or somebody in your family posed up cheesing with this KKK costume, what would you do? Hit that comment section below.
Tell me what you would do.
I'm curious.
Because I know what I would do. And I'll respond to you if you say what I was going to do. If I see my son, daughter, nephew, niece in a picture with him and it's on their social media platform,
yes.
Oh my God, you got to warn your hand, shorty. You got to, woo, boy.
And you know you're in trouble when people be like,
yeah, it's the pause. Like Mr. I wish I could call Taurus. Like, boy, oh boy. Oh man. Taurus, if you're watching this, boy, you coming on the show.
Yes.
I promise you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that I don't even like, why are you not offended?
Exactly.
I guess we're not that desensitized. We're not like, I don't know.
In having conversations, and we had a episode a while back where we were talking about today's kids will never know.
Yes.
And I don't actually know if it has been Black History Month or when you get to that part in the textbook where you start talking about slavery and all of that stuff is desensitized. Because I'm going to be honest with you, you may not agree with me, and I don't give a dish. When we went to the African American Museum,
yes,
remember that museum? And we went to, and we saved this until the end, the whole slave ship part. Mm-hmm. And there was this line, and we got in the line to go to the slave ship part. And I'm sorry. I was like, this it? Y'all hyped all this up. And people were like, I was so moved and emotional. And I'm not taking any of that from you. It was a very humbling experience because I could not be a slave. Because in my dark complected self, I would be in the field. And I've been in Mexico. And I've been in the Caribbean. And I haven't worked out there, But if I had to work out there and strap my baby to, I'm going down the wrong road.
Oh my God.
Because those probably sound like first world problems. But it was truly like quiet and like you could feel emotion in the air. But I was like, oh, they got slithers of wood. And I'm not trying to be desensitized or make it insensitive. Thank you. Or make it littler than it really was. But when I went back in the day to the Great Blacks and Wax Museum.
Oh, Jesus.
And we went in that slave portion of it. That scared the bejesus out of me.
I skipped that trip every time, so I didn't get that
You
experience.
never went? No. They have. And comment down below if you've ever been to Great Blacks and Wax. First of all, it's like House of Wax. Because it's nothing like Madame Tussauds. These wax figures is kind of scary. It's kind of spooky. But they had the slave ship part, and you were like compacted in, so you could feel like what it felt like to be a slave. And they had a slave story where there was a guy. It was a lady, and she was trapped by these white men, and they cut her baby out because she was pregnant.
Jesus.
And then they put a cat inside her stomach. And I'm sorry if this is very vulgar, but just follow me.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is a true story. They sewed the cat in her stomach and they placed bets on how long it would take the cat to claw out of her stomach. And they had like a replica of this lady. Scared the bejesus out of me. So I think once I went to that exhibit, to leave that exhibit and go to the African American History Museum, I was like, oh. Well, that's different. So I'm saying all this to say it was dialed back to me because you could have went so many different ways with this, especially when you had this whole floor that you could have used for that slave portion. So I wonder if schools are more insensitive or desensitized when it comes to, I know I'm just all over the place.
She threw them together just
It
now.
was a good weekend.
She's still carrying this stuff.
I'm trying. So I wonder if they kind of dial back.
Of course they do. And the reason I say of course they do is because when we were in school, I didn't make it to the Great Blacks and Wax. That wasn't my sting. But I know you remember going to the movie to see Glory. Oh, wait a second, Jesus.
I didn't go see Glory. I didn't go see...
like it was a school trip.
My school didn't go there. And it was
like elementary school.
Oh, no. Elementary school, we did watch Roots. I do remember Roots. God.
So, all right, I'm going to talk to y'all. Comment below if you remember this, because I think she went to Tillman, and they might not have had the budget. But I remember we went to elementary school. We went to see Glory in the movies. That was a school trip. I think middle school, we saw something, or we were told to watch Mississippi Burning and write a report. That was tough. High school, we were taken as a whole entire school to see Amistad. So we were introduced to stuff like that as we were going. I don't know which. That's why East Side, I can't. Sorry, guys. Y'all are uncultured. Anyway, that's why it's bad. All of the West Side schools remember that. All my West Side people, comment below. I know you went. But we were introduced to that type of stuff to the point where we had to talk about it as kids. I didn't understand Glory then. I just know I cried because I was like, these are slaves dying. These are slaves being whipped for fighting for a country that doesn't want them to be free. So I could comprehend that, but watching it as an adult, I was like, Jesus, we watched this as kids?
Yes. When I went back and looked at Roots as an adult, I was like, we watched this as kids?
But then you got to understand the movies of 12 Years a Slave. It's a lot of slave movies now.
It is.
And it's a lot that I'm pretty sure these kids and this generation of kids didn't see. I'm pretty sure if I go upstairs and talk to my kids, they didn't watch any of that stuff.
Absolutely
they haven't seen 12 Years a Slave and stuff like that. They saw Django.
Yeah, we took somebody to see Django.
Najee,
yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
Najee.
you know, it's not stuff that they were introduced to. So that's why I blame the parents, because if they're not introduced to it by the school, I think it's your job to do it.
So what you're saying is you blame us too because we haven't introduced
I
our
do,
kids.
because I'm going to go upstairs and make my kids watch Glory with me. And you, because you didn't see it. I can't believe you didn't see it.
I'm kind of over the slave movies and
But it's
all
certain
of that.
ones you had to have seen, like Amistad and Glory are two that are pivotal.
Okay. Well, just like The Passion of the Christ, I never saw that until you made me sit and watch that.
And you hear how she said made.
Because I don't, and it's so weird because I watch a lot of gory stuff, but stuff like that, like, don't whip my Jesus. Don't whip my Jesus.
I can't wear her out.
All right, I'll watch it.
I can't wear her out. I can't with you. Comment below if you've made your kids watch, because made is the word, watch any of the movies we talked about, Glory, Amistad, or Passion of the Christ. Now, I don't know how we got to that from slavery. But
Yeah, because you remember he freed the Hebrew slaves.
What you got, y'all?
Well, that was Moses, but
Where
it
you at,
was
fam?
still part of
What's on the list? Where's the docket? I
I told you, I'm winging it today.
Jesus have mercy.
Today, I'm winging it. I'm spent. I quit my job today. It didn't go well.
She say quit.
I told our middle baby girl, she had a whole episode meltdown at school today, and she's texting me, and I let her ramble on with her text. Then when I don't respond, she's like, "You don't care. I'm just gonna bang my heads against the wall," because she's
Oh, she does that too?
Yes. Anyways, so she came home like, "I'm home," and I was like, "Come here." So what was going on today? It doesn't matter. You don't care. I said, "Kelly, I was in the middle of quitting my job today, and you started with this foolishness."
And this fool, I was like, quit your job. She said, yeah, because I'm starting a new job. She said, oh, I thought you like really quit. We was going to be in poverty or something.
I was like, "What?"
That's all they think about.
I can't
That's
with
it.
these kids.
That's all they think about.
But that's about all I got. Oh, by the way, yes, I have a new job. I'm just leaving my old job, but it
It's
just
how she
sounds.
says
It
quit.
just
Quit sounds better.
Don't it sound spicy when you be like, "I just quit my job today"?
It don't sound spicy to me.
But she did not my leave though, so it didn't go well. I was like, "I'm quitting. This is my last day, but I want to use some leave before." And she was
They
like,
be like, no.
"Access denied." I was like,
No, we're going to see you at work, sure. Now we see you right here.
"You gonna work up until that last day,
We're going to get every penny out of you.
right?" Well, what do you have for us, Anthony?
It's nothing long because, again, today is a day of winging it. Yeah, I've got nothing. No. I was sitting talking and I can't remember who I was talking to. And we were talking about how as kids, they taught us the golden rule. It was really big. Like I remember in elementary school, it was all over the walls and do unto others as you'll have them do unto you. And that was the golden rule. And that was how you're supposed to conduct yourself in school. And now as an adult, a while back, I realized that was a crock of bull. People don't care how you do them. People are going to treat you the way they want to treat you. That's just the reality. So no matter how good you are to them, it's not going to guarantee you're going to get good treatment from them back. That's just not how life works. So I've spent a lot of time teaching my kids two things. Just be your authentic self. And those who stay near you are those who are compatible with you and want to be near you. They like your authentic energy. Mm-hmm. Also, be aware that the energy you give out will return to you. And I stick a pin there because I know everybody caught up on the story with Alpo. And brief synopsis, y'all know Alpo and AZ and Rich Porter were big time drug dealers in New York. The movie Paid in Full was about their lives. Alpo was the dirty one. Alpo was the one that, robbed one, killed the other. And he went to jail. And when he got to jail, he turned Fed witness and they let him out early. And he decided to return back to Harlem where he did all of his dirt. And today he was, I think it was today. It was today. Today he was killed in a drive-by.
Wow.
And it's the energy you put out there. It may not come back immediately. Like it's never, some people say reaping what you sow. Some people say karma. What you put out in the universe, you are guaranteed to get. It's like a boomerang. And it's no time. You can't put a time like I did this today, so today I get something back. No, but when it comes back, it comes back. Because I'm looking at the comments on all the pages that posted and nobody cared that he was killed.
Well, all right.
It was more of a, wow, good riddance. Like, what took this long? But that's the energy he put out there. And that's the energy I believe he got back. So the golden rule is a bunch of bull. Just be authentic and be mindful of the energy you put into the universe because you'll get it back. That's all I got.
That was pretty deep.
Go for it.
Is it played out yet to show that you have on name brand stuff? Like, you know how people take pictures and they put their foot up so you can see the red bottoms?
What are we doing?
Or they like, ladies will like curve their foot a little bit so you can see their shoes, or they'll turn the purse around so that you can like see that it's, you know, purse. Or like they put their purse on the seat and then take a picture there, watch, and you can see like the purse in the background. Is that played out yet? Like, do people really applaud you? Like, oh, I see you. Look at that with your Louis Vuitton and stuff. I'm just curious. Like, I'm like legit curious because I have a few name brand pieces. I got some Ivy Parks. I'm gonna drop them here because I'm about to rain on them.
Oh, why the elbow way up here? Take my strong hand.
But, you know, when I go out, I don't be like, you know, posing so you can see like, hey, look what I got on. I just put myself on and go. So I have a question. And remember, no judgment zone. If you do that, drop in the comment section below. Why do you show off your brands? Just curious. It's all love here. I'm just curious.
I'm curious too.
You think anybody's going to do it?
No.
Hashtag I do it cuz. And put why.
It don't take much, huh?
All right, okay. One more time. How about a round of applause? Thank you. He's a fool.
This is a good episode.
That's a good
Listen,
episode.
I thank y'all for bearing with us today. This has been a tough weekend.
It was.
The work day today was a tough work day.
It was.
I felt like they should have gave me a break, but they didn't. And so they got every bit out of me today. And then I was still recuperating from a very great weekend. So with that, I'm Ant.
And I was sober the whole time. And thanks for stopping by.
No.
And thanks for stopping by to...
She lying.
What is going on?
She lying. She was the furthest thing from, because I got video to prove it.
Okay,
and I'll put that here. And you tell me if this is sober dancing. Let's try this again.
Okay.
And with that, with all of that, I'm Ant.
And I'm Makia.
And thanks for stopping by to talk some issues today.
Bye.
Peace.